The Painting with Magic Show with Brandon Thomas is brought to you by BrandonThomasArtSupply.com.
Hey, it's Brandon T here with the Painting with Magic Show, and today I thought we'd do another little fun project. So what I have here is my standard 16 by 20 canvas, and I've covered on that some amazing white medium, and just a thin little coat will do you good. And that's a Fredrix Red label canvas, the red label, 100% cotton, double primed. And the oil colors that I'm using, as always, is the pre-tested from Grumbacher, the Grumbacher pre-tested oil colors. And I'll have the I'll link in the description where you can find the canvases and the pre-tested oil paints from Grumbacher. Okay? And also in the description will be a link to my website where you can purchase my signature products, the brushes and the mediums. And so with that, the colors should be on the screen or in the description. Okay? So with that, let's get monkey faced on. I'm going to take some Prussian blue. Just on an old 2-inch brush. So this little Prussian blue. I'll grab a little bit of Thalo blue with that, maybe a little touch of black with it. Okay, just a nice little bit. This brush, good and loaded, just a little bit will go a long way. Okay, let's go up to the canvas now. Okay, so let's go up here and let's start doing a little X stroke. And we're going to work that all the way across the canvas, all the way across it, from one corner to the other, and start working it down. Because I have amazing white on the canvas, this color will start blending for me automatically. And automatically I get a beautiful blue sky. And this sky's a little bit darker today. Just simply because I added just a little bit of black in it. And oh, it's going to be good. Alrighty. So as I work it down towards the horizon, I'm going to go back here and reload that brush. No, same colors, blue, Prussian blue, Thalo blue, and a little touch of Ivory black. Let's go down to the water here and we're going to pull across. Just like this. That easily. Okay, and reload that brush up. And on this side. There we go. Good. It gives us a nice little shimmer right there on our water. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to wash that brush. Okay, after washing your brush, we're going to come up here now and just blend it. Make sure that brush is good and dry. And just use X strokes, working our way right back up the canvas. That easily. Okay, I'm going to beat that brush out again. And then I'm going to just blend that water just a little bit, just soften it. There we go. Good. Okay, so now that we have our little blue sky done, such a nice little blue sky, I thought we'd do some big rolling clouds. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to put this brush down. I'm going to grab a number 6 fan brush. There we go. Drop a tube of paint while I'm at it. So let's take this old number 6 fan brush. Let's go into some titanium white. Right into titanium white. There we go. I'm going to go over here and grab a touch of the red. Okay, just some red. Might be a little too red, but we'll work with that. Okay, let's go up to the canvas now. Okay, so we're going to go up here now and start deciding where our little clouds are going to be. And I think I want to do them kind of, maybe rolling from this side this way. We usually roll from this side, but let's go from this side now. Let's change it up a little bit. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start using a little circle. And start working it around. Go back this way a little bit this time. We'll look this way. And I love using a fan brush. Now after I do one little spot, I'm going to wipe the brush off on a paper towel and then I'm just going to reload that brush. Back in the titanium white and the little bit of red that's still in it. I haven't added any more red to it, just a little dot. And I wipe that color off on a paper towel just because when we come up here, we're going to pick up color and we don't want it to dirty up too much of it. And after a while, you'll probably have to wash your brush, but right now, We're just going to work on this big old cloud. There we go. I'm going to take my 2-inch landscape brush we use for the sky and use one corner of the brush. Just one little corner of that brush. And just bring it around. Just blend it down a little bit. Just the bottoms. And then give it a little fluff. Give it just a little fluff. Just a couple hairs. And a big old gust of wind. There we go. There's one cloud. Let's go ahead and do another cloud here now. And I'm going to wash that brush quick just so I can just give this next cloud the same treatment as the first. Okay, so I'm just going to reload my brush up here now. Nice and clean, dry brush. Loading it right back in those same colors. And I'm going to start right here for this one. This little cloud to go. And folks, I'm just using a little scrubby circling motion. Just to get them on here. I'm using one corner, and sometimes I'll even use the other corner, and I'll go in that direction. You see? Just so you kind of see how I'm doing it. Just with one circle on this corner. And there comes a little cloud. You can run it however way you want to do it. Whatever's comfortable for you. And I'll just work this into the canvas. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Now we'll come up here and we'll do the same blending. We'll use one corner of that brush. And just soften it down. Not using much pressure here. Don't use a lot of pressure. And then give it a little fluff as well. Little hair. Brand new brush. I don't use new brushes all the time, but sometimes you need them. I go through brushes a lot faster than most people, just simply because I paint a whole lot. So there's that cloud. And I think maybe there's another little bit coming right here. You can see a few little more sticking through here. So I'll tell you what we're gonna have. We're gonna have a big old mountain in here. A big old mountain. There's that cloud, and then I'll come back real quick and I'll blend and give it a little fluff. There we go. And then right here, just a little cloud just sits right over here. There we go. And just give it a little blend. Now, it may sound like I'm hitting this canvas a lot harder than I am just because we have these microphones. But I'm not using a lot of pressure at all. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what I have here now, I have our little sky in there. We have nice, beautiful rolling clouds. I love painting big rolling clouds. They're always my favorite to do. So I thought we'd have a mountain in here. And I thought we'd have it coming in here like this on this side over here. And maybe have another one over here. Don't know exactly yet, but I can see that mountain in my head living over here. That's why I kind of put a little cloud or two right through there. Okay, let's take our number 10 magic palette knife here. Make sure it's good and clean. Mine stays dirty all the time, but, you know, we'll clean it the best we can. Alright, I'll tell you what. Let's take, and I'm going to strip up this old bit of white that I had. Just from painting the clouds. And we'll take some of that. We're going to take some Prussian blue, black, smudged umber, and some of this Grumbacher red. And we'll scoop that up. Scoop that up and just give it a nice little mix. I always like to use just a little titanium white with it, just so I can see the color I got. And I like that pretty good. And I'm just going to roll that paint right on that knife. Let's go up here to the canvas now. Okay, so just make a little decision as to where your mountain's going to be. And I think I'm going to have the main peak of this mountain living right through here. And have it come across. Maybe there's another peak there. And I'm pressing, but I'm not pressing a ton. Just like that. Just getting it in. Get your shape in there. You don't have to use a knife to do the shape. You can use an old filbert brush to do that with. Okay. Just make a decision. And there's your mountain. You see? Nice little shape. And then I come here and scrape it. This is a very important part. Okay, just scrape this mountain. Look how much paint I got up off that knife. Good old roll of paint off that knife. Off that mountain. And then right over here, we can take that paint we had. There's this little peak living right over here. Right there. And then scrape him out. Maybe those connect. There we go. Just make a decision and go with it. There's a little peak right there in it. There we go. And clean off that old palette knife. I'm going to take my 2-inch brush now and I'm just going to pull out this paint. Just pull it out. Just grab the paint and give it a little pull. These are very important. What this does is this helps you get that big paint to stick, your highlights to stick. Okay, you can use a small brush for this. You don't have to use a big old brush like I'm doing here. You can use a little small one. You can use the 1-inch brush, a fan brush works good, a filbert. Those all work really good with this. Okay, nice big strong mountain. There we go. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's go down to the palette here and make that color for our highlights. Pick titanium white. And pick just a little bit of the red. Just a little bit of that red. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to get a nice little roll of paint right on the edge of my knife. Okay, just like that. Let's go over there to the canvas now. Okay, I think I'm going to have them highlights going to the left today. Okay, so let's take and start to make a decision here. To where it breaks. There it goes, right there. Boom. Maybe on this side, just breaks right down that mountain. Just like that. And on this one, he's going to come right down too. On down the mountain. And we're using no pressure on here. No pressure at all. This is very thick paint. If you hear a little scraping, whatever, sometimes that's just my nail hitting the canvas, just because I'm so close to it. Okay. Another little roll of paint. And just start working this way. There we go. One little side at a time. We're going to work on this side, then we come and we'll work on the other side. And then over here, we'll just have a little bit on that corner. And let's go to the other one over here. Okay, and start working on this one. There's a little peak right there. And I'm going to use a little small edge of the knife. Just to give it some snow. And it's important to use a very good, strong, thick paint. Paint you just want to grab that canvas. And if you put too much amazing white on this, you're going to get yourself in trouble real quick. Real quick. We don't want you doing that. Okay, tell you what, let's go over to the other side of this mountain. I'm going to use a little small edge of the knife. Just like so. Start making some little shapes up here. Now use that little shape to just do this. Just so I can see where I'm going. Okay. Let's make up a shadow color. So I just got some old dirty titanium white here. I'm putting more titanium white. Thalo blue, Prussian blue, a little bit of red. A lot of times I like to keep it marbled. Something like that right there. I think that's going to do it. And let's put a little roll on that side of the knife. And let's go back up here now. And right over here comes our shadow. Comes our shadow. There it comes. Down that mountain. It's right over here. Zoom. Oh man. Did that stick? That stuck real good. That was a good stroke. That's a good one. Then over here on this side, there it comes. And then we'll just put a little bit on here. I thought we'd go to the left today just because I wanted to do something a little more differently. We got a lot of left-hand artists out there who really want to see some of these type of mountains. So I thought we'd do it. Okay, and on that one there, I'm going to take a little of that mountain color. Just do that with the mountain color. That really helps it. And I just put a little bit of that color of shadow color with some of that darker mountain color. Just so I can get inside that little groove. Like that. Right down that mountain. Good. And we come back and forth with that. Okay, let's go on this side here and just start putting in our little shadows. So, look at that one. Comes. Just a little shadow there. Shadows all over the place here. I want to do a little kind of a winter scene here today. That's what I kind of wanted to roll with. Then some shadow on this one. Good. A little shadow inside there. And then start rolling back on this side. And I'm going to start working on this main highlight here, okay? Start working on that main highlight. Back and forth with highlights, shadows, and highlights. And that really helps you see what you got to work on to make it roll for you. To make it roll for you. So just scoop up a little bit. Just like that. And then on this one. Like that. And we can just play with the shadows and the highlights on this one. That little section there. See how it just starts to come together. A little small edge of the knife. Then I'm going to come back here on this little peak here. There comes some more shadow. No pressure. No pressure. See how we just make it work. Just make it work. If you want to, you can make them go to the highlights to the other side. But if you do that, I would recommend making your clouds go that way as well. The reason I did the clouds this way today is because I wanted to go to the left today on those mountains. Right through here is just a good spot to have a buildup of snow. Just like that. pressure here. Okay. I think that'll do it. I think that'll work for us pretty good. Maybe there's a little bit going up that way. Yeah, let's go this way. The shadows in and out, in and out. There we go. Good. Okay, I got a nice clean dry brush, and I'm gonna come in here and tap. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And just kind of follow the angles of your mountain. And on that side. And just use some X strokes here. And just give it a little fluff. Little fluff, kind of like we did the clouds. Just a nice little mountain that lives here today. Pretty good. Alrighty, so now that we have our little mountain in here, a little mountain, big strong mountain. Now we have that big old mountain in there. I think what I'll do today is maybe we'll have a house over here, but we still want to do something back here just to kind of bridge the things together. So I may do some little small trees here just to kind of give me a separation from the mountain and the rest. And then maybe we'll have some snow going through here, and a little house here, a little bit of water. I think that will do it for us. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take our old palette knife, and I'll just run a little paint thinner over that palette knife. It helps me clean it off so much better. Now, if you have some little wet wipes, like some baby wipes, those are great to wipe off your knife with. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to take some Prussian blue, and we're going to go back into some phthalo blue, some black, and let's see, some brown. There we go. And just the same color as basically we used for the mountain, except for add a little burnt umber to that, and I'm going to add a little sap green to that as well. So I'll tell you what, let's go around down here and I'll show you what I got mixing up. Just a very big pile of dark paint here. Nice sap greens in there. Alright. Okay, there we go. Good color. I'm going to go down here, I'm going to grab a fan brush real quick. Okay, I got my fan brush, and we're going to load this right into the paint. Right there into it. Alright. Tell you what, let's go up here now. To make a decision where your trees are going to start growing, and I'm going to make a decision right through here. And we'll just have us a little bit of land kind of forming through here. And I'm just going to crunch in some trees. There's a tree there. And I just paint it in, just real quickly. Just getting the trees in. These are going to be closer trees. Now, if you have a number 3 fan brush, that would be good to use as well. Just leave some little gaps and stuff in here as well, just to change it up a little bit. There's a tree. Oh boy, man, we're getting into the danger zone. We got a big old chunk of white here. Now, I'll tell you what, if it don't stick, you can always add a little paint thinner to your brush to get that paint to stick. But so far, it's stuck. It's stuck just fine. Put a little smaller one here. There we go. And I'm going to go over here on this side here now and make a little bit taller one here. Like I said, if it don't want to stick for you, you can always add a little bit of thinner to it. And it'll go right over top of that big old thick heavy paint. Big old trees here. There can be a little small one there. See there? Little bitty tiny one. Little baby one. Little Ella one right there. Ella's my little baby niece. And we have Ava. She's a little bit older than Ella. So, there's like a year or so away from each other. About 2 years away from each other, actually. There'd be a little yellow one. There's a little Ivory one right there. Okay. There's those trees. Maybe a little small one right here. And one right here. You can see how we're just kind of just putting some trees in here. Just put them however which way you want to. Put a couple in here. Okay, there's a tree. And here comes another tree. Now, you may be saying there's gaps in here, you know, we can just fill that in with some little gap fillers, just like so. That easy, you can fill those little things in, just like that. Anywhere that you want a little filler at, you can fill it up, just like so. And that gives you some things in there, some background music. There. Maybe there's no trees over here, it just kind of goes out to nothing. Just kind of goes out to nothing on this side. And then we just kind of just do some of this. I don't know if we're going to have water here. No, we're going to have water over here though, that's for sure. And you can just doodle it up right into the water. To me, it doesn't have to be completely detailed through here. Not today. Not today. It doesn't matter today. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take my 2-inch brush and just grab some of this paint and pull it into the water. And just do some of this. Now, I'm going to take this out here too and just kind of soften it as well because, like I said, I kind of want to go with some snow that runs off into kind of like a pond here. I'm going to take a little bit of Prussian blue. Okay, and I'm going to add this little black and fill this right here in. See how we can just lay out our design of our painting here. Now, will I add any highlights to those trees back there? I'm not sure yet if I want to. I may add just a few real quickly. I'm going to be a clean fan brush, and I'm just going to go down to the palette real quick. And you see this color we use for our... That's what we use for the mountain. Load it up in that, I'll be right back. I just added a little bit of amazing white to it. I'm just kind of crunch my brush, but I'm kind of pushing as I go. Okay, let's go back here now and put some highlights on these trees. Before I do that though, I'm just going to kind of scratch in. Now not all these trees I think should get 2 highlights, but they're going to get at least this one. And so right here, we're going to start adding in a little bit of that dark blue we use for shadowing our mountain. Just use that color you have on your palette. It's already good. It's already good stuff. Okay, see that? Little on that one. Then we'll go over here to this side. And just a little that lives on this one. And you can just kind of do some of that there. And just tap in just kind of where we may have some snow that lives back here, but it's kind of pushed up back through here. Okay, good. Okay, I got a clean dry fan brush now. Let's go down to the palette. See, I took some amazing white and I'm going to run into some of the titanium white in the same way. Just kind of give it a little kind of a push. Okay, get you kind of a ridge on there. Let's go up here now. So only a few are going to get these nice snowy highlights. And that's all going to go to the left. Okay, just like that. Now, They may kind of blend in a little bit with that snowy mountain, but that's okay. It's okay. There we go. Just a couple little trees there. And then on this side, I think he'll have a few on him. And on this one as well. Just a few little snowy trees. And we could put some of this right next to him down through here. And I may just throw a few little on this one as well. There we go. This is just background stuff anyway. Just background stuff, really. Okay, tell you what. Let's go to the palette. I'll take my 2-inch brush. It has a little blue on it. I'm going to run it right through titanium white. I'm going to grab a little amazing white with that as well. Okay, I'm going to go back up here now. And I'm going to start running in my snow. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Just reloaded that brush. Or you want just a little hill to go, just kind of go right back in there just like that. And it goes right in where it needs to. I'll take that brush this time, the whole thing. There's some snow. Just like so. See how quick that went? And I was going to use a little extra here just to kind of soften them down just a little bit. See? Easy. Easy peasy. Really depends on how you want your snow to look, you know. There we go. And then real quickly, I'm just going to put in a kind of a water line. It's snowing and it's a winter painting, but I think this water's still a little wet. It's getting ready to... Winter's about over with here. Kind of the last little bit of winter you get before it all starts to melt. Just like so. As you can see, that is water. Okay, good. That looks good. I'll tell you what, let's go over here and start working on our little cabin. Okay, right over here, I'm going to start working on my cabin. This is how I want it to look. Like so, and we'll come in here like that. And you can probably see it coming alive here. Cabin. So I'm just going to grab some black and a little bit of brown together. And they're filling it in. Just like this. Just fill it all in. Not all of it in, just the front of the house, the body of the house. See that? It's really easy to do. I know you can do this. It's just shapes. I used to have a really hard time with doing barns and stuff. Then I really figured it out. Well, if I use my knife in different angles and move it around, it makes the house for you. So really, this palette knife makes it so easy to make a house. You see? I'm just blocking it in. Then we'll come here and just give it a little scratch here just to kind of straighten up the areas of your house. Super easily, we're getting a house in here. Now I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just grab, let's go to the palette. Now I'll make me up a little color right here. I'm going to take some burnt sienna, burnt umber, titanium white together in that. little black, touch of blue, just to gray it some. Okay, and I'll tell you what, just to gray it some. See, maybe it needs a little more blue. I'll take some phthalo blue with it. Kind of made it green, kind of. Let's take some ochre, more burnt sienna, some black, and a little more white. There's what I want. I want that little gray tint. I need that phthalo blue to get it. So let's get that little roll of paint. And let's go up here. Alright. We're going to start about right here. I want to have that nice little under the barn. Kind of do the same thing. Kind of keep a little dark spot there. See that? Easily done. I'm going to add a little more blue to that color. A little more black to that color. And just on this side. So I can kind of keep it in the shadow. Then I'm just going to run my knife through it just to kind of create some boards. That's in this old cabin. Just like so. Now, here we go. Just trying to put some snow up there. I'm going to take some titanium white and get a roll of titanium white. And I'm going to come in here now and fill that top of this in with some snow. See? See how it just starts to come together so easily? Use your knife to your benefit, to your advantage. Turn it this way. See? Use a little small end of the knife. Use the whole thing. Use this whole thing up. Let that knife be your worker. Let it be your worker. And over here we'll just put a little on that there. See, just kind of a big bolding thing of snow. And I'm just going to come in here and kind of scratch off what I don't want. Sometimes you get a little too much in it. Not a big deal. Have a thicker black. Straight up ivory black. And fix it up. Do you see? Do you see? Man, these are so awesome. There we go. There's a little door in here. And he's going to have a little window right there. Just right there's a little window. I'll tell you what. Maybe he has a little. Just a little thing right there. And there's not going to be any snow on that because we're going to throw a little bit of stuff coming out of the top of that. Just keep them warm. I'm going to use some of that gray kind of color we used earlier just on the door there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll take a little of that cadmium yellow just on the small ends of the knife. There might be a little dot of red in there with it. Just like so. Put a little bit in that window. Zoom. Just go around just to kind of fix it up. Maybe just a little drop of white with it. Just to kind of help show that there is light in there. It's nice and it's warm inside that cabin. I'm going to grab a number 3 fan brush here. And right through here it's dry. Don't need to do anything else but that right there. It's dry. Plus because we got that mountain behind it. I can take a little bit of white and go right inside of that. And that easily, there you go, that easily. With this fan brush here. Kind of throw a shadow here. Just going to clean that up. But nice little shadow on that side. Really helps it. And then we'll take a liner brush. I'm just gonna thin down some paint here. There's some like white colored paint here. And we'll go right around this door. And window here. An old door there. An old window there. And we can take some of that color we're using that window, that yellow color. And just kind of scatter it right through there, showing that there is some reflection going on. Then I'm going to take my brush, go into a little black. And right through here we're going to put like a little, kind of like a little path in there. Just something like that easily. And then I'm going to thin down some black on my liner brush. This easily. Just thin it down. Okay, let's go back here now. Maybe there's some little posts. They just kind of go through here like this, and it's kind of crooked and wobbly. Something like that. Leads right out of the painting. Right outside the painting there. There we go. Maybe over here. Just right through here. Like a little Prussian blue. Right there. Maybe it's a little small. A little dot of black. Maybe just a little small little pond that lives right there. And you can just put a little water line. So it lives right there. Some kind of like a little small pond. Okay. Something like that. A little pond that lives there. You even take a little bit of brown, just kind of put around it like it shows some dirt. You can still kind of see some dirt living there. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to grab some of this dark color. Okay, let's go right back up here now. And right here, I think we're going to have is a nice little tree trunk. It just kind of got cut down. Now it's a stump. Something about like that. We can use some of that barn color here and just kind of highlight him a little bit. Maybe a little burnt umber with it. You see? You see? And then we'll take some titanium white here. Maybe there's snow that just is on top. It just kind of runs down that old stump. It just runs down that old stump. Probably just snowed. You know, that snow just piles up on stuff. And then on these little posts here, we can just kind of take a dot and just stick a little snow on top of those. Just like that, like there's some snow on top of those. And then we can just put those into the ground a little bit more. And to do that, I'm just going to take some of the shadow color we kind of basically use for the mountain here. And you know, I do know the highlights are going to the right, but it's going to make more sense probably if we just took them right here, go to the right with some shadow. You can see that hopefully. Hoping you can see these little shadows going down the hill. I may have to make them just darker for the video. Now you should be able to see those. There. There we go. Then we're going to take a little white on the brush and just kind of go around through here just like so. Right next to this path here. Kind of soften those out just a little bit more there. Okay, and there we go. I think we got a finished little painting. Alrighty, I want to thank you for painting with me today. I do hope you enjoyed it. I know I loved painting with you. I just want to do something a little wintry with nice little cabin in it because I get a lot of questions on cabins and things like that. So I thought this might help you out. You know, something nice and simple today. Nice little beautiful mountain being highlighted to the left. So if you're left-handed, this one was for you. Because I love you and I love all of you. So I hope you enjoyed painting with me. I loved painting with you again today. Please subscribe to the videos here. Please share them so we can get more people here enjoying the shows. I want to say God bless you. I love you. But Jesus loves you more. And I'll see you real soon.
The Painting with Magic Show with Brandon Thomas is brought to you by BrandonThomasArtSupply.com.